This is a pile. Let's start here. So, Bray of Clan Stoutarm. 4-mana 4/4. You tap it, pay 2. Another creature you control gets flying and lifelink. And then this other big chunk of text is effectively discover X, where X is the amount of life you've gained. So if you gain 5 life, you exile till you find a non-land off the top, just like Cascade or whatever, and you can cast it if you've gained that much life. If not, it goes to your hand. So it's just discover X from, the Ixalan set, discover mechanic, and that's it, equal to the amount of life you've gained. So you can gain a bunch of life in white. You can throw, or rather, I think the old version flings, like the OG red-white giant, like literally throws, flings the creature. This one just gives it flying, and it doesn't die after, which is kind of interesting. I'm not super into the top portion that much. Like, I think gaining life outside of damage is just more reliable. Also a lot easier. But you could play giant things that fly in and gain some life, but you'd have to actually cast those things, cast this thing, and then untap with both, and then tap this on that and swing in. Like, this is Historic Brawl. Entomb Reanimated exists. So you just don't have time for that. And in Standard, there's not a ton of crazy things to do with this. And it's a lot harder to play it fast with a bunch of mana rocks in Standard. But so far, these in Standard have not felt like they'd be too impressive. But to be fair, that also somewhat applicable to Historic. But yeah, so if we gain a ton of life in one turn, which is a little crazy, but I guess it can kind of happen. If you gain like 15 life, you could just randomly hit Emrakul. The average hit is not Emrakul, it's a mana rock or a small creature. But you can just put it to your hand. There's more than enough mana rocks to easily Paradox Engine One Ring people. And this ideally always draws a card a turn, which I really like. It just simply draws a card every turn, even if you don't cast it for free. I think that's quite significant here. So I do like that. But yeah, with Sneak Attack, you could Sneak Attack in these silly things. I like Quintarius because it actually has the word Discover on it, which, your commander also discovers, and it triggers the top part, which gains more life. But by the time you would gain this life, it's too late to discover again with your commander. But hey, you know what? I like the card. The plus works with Soul Wardens, Soul Sisters, and then the Discover works with itself and the commander, and the minus is okay as well, I take it. Huatli's also cool. The 0 works with ETB gaining life stuff, and then the top part is simply gaining life. So that's kind of cool. And I guess the minus X could make it so your opponent can't block with all their stuff if you poke everything with Huatli. Can't remember the last time I played that, though. I finally crafted Fury. Finally. And I crafted it in a deck that doesn't actually have a lot of red cards. This is the main issue I have with Fury, is a lot of your decks that if they have a different color, other than just red is, at least in my opinion, the least represented color in any deck that is more than just red in it. So you kind of struggle a little to actually evoke it, and this is the exact same here. It's just not super likely to be evoked. But I can pretty reasonably gain 5 life and just cast it for free if I find it. Also, you can tap, if I do evoke, or just cast it, or whatever, you can tap your commander to give it lifelink, and then gain 4 life with all of the damage it deals before it would die. So, it works here. Approach is only in here, not because it gains 7, although that is funny. It is a thing to do with the One Ring Paradox Engine spam, outside of let's blitz or slowly accrue a bunch of mana rocks to then hardcast Emrakul and stuff. I can fairly reasonably cast Approach twice in the same turn when I have mana rocks, One Ring, Paradox Engine. Actually, I do want Enlightened Tutor. I keep forgetting that exists. I do want that. I do have the Snowlands Matters card, and we're playing something I think is pretty lowish power, so I am making an exception for Snowlands just for, what's it called? Search for Glory? This can find Paradox Engine. It can find the One Ring. It can find any other legendary that I might end up actually casting. I'm going to shave another land. There's at least one MDFC in here and a ton of mana rocks. This is cool. I think I have enough colorless cards. There's actually a couple colorless lands in here. Venture's Fair and the Gain 2 lands. I think this is reasonable. I tried it last time and never got to cast it in a blue-white deck, but I'm going to try again. If you do X for like 5 or something, you do make a lot of 1/1s, which trigger your ETB, gain 1 life creatures and stuff. And then the rest of this card is good. This card is so good, you should always try to make it work. That's my take. Yep. So, let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. What do you mean just click done? What are you talking about? You don't want me to talk about the deck? What? I can kill Rofellos. Well, I mean, I upload it to YouTube. I'm obviously going to talk about the deck. That doesn't make sense not to talk about it. It literally makes no sense. Let's play that. Same with the outro. Why would I not talk about the deck? It doesn't make sense. It's the person on their toilet not thinking about anything take. Okay, well, now all I need is a giant dumb card, I guess. There's not a ton of them in the deck, though. Reliquary Tower in Rofellos? What? What? My guy, that is not a forest. Alright. Each their own. Okay, so... This... I guess white. And I'm obviously going to lightning bolt my opponent's commander. Play Harmonize. I mean, you know, anything's possible. It's green. Like we say, you can do whatever you want when you're mono green. You can do whatever you want. So do I cast my commander or sneak attack? Oh, that's actually pretty good, too. I want to play my commander, because that's what my deck does, is play this commander, so... What is that? Railway Brawler? Alright, so this is like mono green mid-range stuff. I can sneak attack a Johnny, and that would kill... Oh, no, it would kill the Ajani. Ah, doesn't work then. Alright, well, I'm still going to cast it. It's still a Johnny. Oh, I played him backwards. Oh, I played him backwards. Oh, nobody look. Oh my god. Oh, I played him backwards. Oh, that was so foolish. I stun locked myself too, so I didn't play the Arcane Signet. That was absolutely atrocious. Okay. Alright, land... I have to pay 7? Yeah. Let's play this. I can... oh, I can do this, actually. Okay, that way I draw, and I also... Yes! I can... It's alright, I didn't lose the game. Ooh, that was a... Oh, that was so rough. Yeah, I like, literally... That was the equivalent. It was the equivalent of, like, having your cards in your hand, and you go to cast one, and, like, you sneeze, and all the cards in your hand, like, spill out on the table, and you're, like, scrambling to grab them. That's basically what I did that turn. I played a Johnny first, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, and then I, like, quickly played the voice, and then just never played the Arcane Signet. I basically Emrakul'd the Promised End myself. No, that's not true. They probably wouldn't cast anything if that was the case, but you know what I mean. That's funny. Well, I got mana. I can gain life consistently. Did I play this turn 1? I'm gonna play? Yeah, I think I do. I'm gonna get a Plains. This can only get a mountain, so I could just get Sacred Foundry. Currency converter? Oof, beautiful. Alright, get in there. Get in there, Zora. This discards, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, that means I can't witch enchant it. Alright, well, I'm not going to run into Felia like a goober. Alright, so... Okay, I found that. I need more mana sources. This deals damage to me, so it's a little bit rough. How do they get this back? It's a land, it's a rogue. Okay, so it just goes right in. Wait, well, how do you... Huh, maybe I wanted to blow this... I mean, it exiles it. They have to tap it to return the card to the... Deals damage to... I mean, I like what I'm seeing here. I like what I'm seeing. This is cool. Alright, let's play you. Actually gain 2 life this turn. Beautiful. Look at that. 2-drop? Oh, it's a 2-drop. There's a 2-drop. We did it. Huge. Look at that. Glorious. Okay, so now... Upkeep Tutor. 1 ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 1, 2. It's not enough. I can't do what I want. So let's simply just cast the engine and then just pass. But none of this is me winning or anything. Alright, if I find a 2-mana card, I guess I untap my stuff, but that doesn't really do much. It doesn't actually even let me cast Solitude, so it's not that exciting. Okay, that's kind of to be expected. It's kind of funny, though, because this is, like, doing nothing, and they still took care of it. That's kind of funny. Like, I can't really be that upset with that. That's a funny way to... like, how do you... I don't know. I'm skeptical if I would do that here. Because it's not doing anything except giving me Vigilance, and I don't know why Vigilance is such a big deal. Doesn't feel like it is. I did find something that would have untapped my stuff, but again, it doesn't actually do anything when I do that. So... Alright, they can reanimate their, I guess, this thing, but it doesn't have haste. And it just makes flyers when it hits you? That's all it does. This has to ETB again to do anything. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, I mean, I have the answer to your card that you just tried to play. So, boop. Let's do this. Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, this doesn't do anything again until you force it to. Hey, I got the 1 ring. So I would have actually hit the combo. Would have just went crazy. That is a cast trigger, so I do have protection. And I think I'm going to draw. I mean, I'm a life gain deck. I don't think it's going to kill me. Again, I just feel like the march was used way too loose there. They would have had to have done it, but still, it just seems like at that exact moment was maybe not the best time to do it. They would have had to have done it, obviously, at some point. Just okay, so let's blow up the converter, make life more unappealing for the opponent. I could, honestly, could also maybe just blow up a land in this spot, but I'll just blow up the converter. It's a mono-white deck. It doesn't just freely put things into the graveyard, so... How did I gain 4 life this turn? Wait, what am I tripping on? Talisman... Oh, the land I played. Ah, yes. Appa? Okay, that's a way to get your commander back, and then they get the summon Knights of the Spaghetti. Hallowed Priest, sure. Get in there. Alright, they have to deal with Ulamog, which is not found in the Knight. I could upkeep this. I don't have to, I have the One Ring. Oh, we're swinging? They're swinging with their flyer. Huh. Oh, yeah, of course. Take action. They didn't name Artifact. I don't really know why. That seems weird. But I guess I'll take it. I don't know why they didn't name Artifact. Maybe they just want the One Ring to kill me. Argue it's moderately possible. I don't know why this deck wants to play Farewell. It just eats its own win condition. They exiled graveyards. What are you doing? Okay. Opponent exiled graveyards. You got it. Oh, hey, it's a Johnny. I do have Lightning Bolt for a Johnny. And do you gain life as well? You just deal damage. Okay. Opponent, you exiled the graveyard. There's no knight in there. Okay. You got it. Yeah. Oh yeah, summon Bahamut's an enchantment, huh? Oh, why not? I can't kill the One Ring with it, though. A little bit annoying. I guess it was a misclick, yeah. It's the only thing that makes sense to me, so... I will draw? Not concerned about losing to One Ring damage. Put that to my hand. Okay. My opponent can lose to the One Ring, though. It must have been a misclick. I'd say I'd be fine without my artifacts, and I would have answered the Knight. So this game would have continued. Yeah, they must have just accidentally clicked Artifact instead of Graveyard. Which completely blew them out entirely. Like, completely blew them out. But Farewell is just weird. Like, it just seems weird in this deck. You don't want to exile creatures really ever because your commander wants to reanimate them. You also really don't want to exile your own commander. This is a bit odd. But let's say they exiled creatures, or excuse me, artifacts. We would get to our turn. I wouldn't be able to cast this, but that's fine. I don't have anything to blow up with it anyways. I wouldn't Enlighten Tutor for it. I would go to my turn, I would cast this, I'd draw. I would have both of these to still deal with the Knight, and they would just have a few some 2/2s. So this game would not be over if they named Artifact. We would lose the One Ring, which means I guess it can't kill us, but we draw slightly less. The game would continue, is my point, if I lost the One Ring. It wouldn't just be immediately over. Seems weird. It's kind of another game my opponent just ignores me, I feel. Decks that ignore me are really, really good against me. Where, you know, they do their own thing and don't care what you're doing. Well, I gotta play cards, so... Let's grab Flage. No, let's get Felia. I think I'm gonna cast Felia too next turn. Okay, that doesn't do anything. They named instant. What? Yeah, okay, well, it literally doesn't do anything. Doesn't matter. I'm probably just going to die to my opponent's stuff. Wow, the disrespect. The disrespect is nuts. Wow, that's crazy. The disrespect is crazy. That's insane. That's just nuts. I mean, opponent, this is... Oh, I didn't play this first. It doesn't matter. Discover 2 or 1. That's not going to make or break me. I guess I can get in for 4? Did I not gain a life? I thought I did. Oh, nope, I didn't. Alright. Never mind. I don't know how to play the game. Okay. Easy double trade? I think I'll play key to this spaghetti here. Okay, my opponent, like, completely disrespected a Johnny, and then didn't use that disrespect into a pivot that had it made any sense here. Maybe there's something there. I'll tell you, it ain't gonna be there if every opponent is green. Wait, what? Sure? Okay. It's a bit weird. Whoop. Got it. Sure. Okay. It's a pretty tame situation so far. I think I'll just pass. Yeah, we're just gonna pass, I guess. I'll lose 3 life. Playing Demolition Field, that's peculiar. So, warp this. Play the land. Play this. Need to swing, obviously. Alright, I did stuff. That is first strike, death touch. Can't swing into it too well. Oh, now I don't have to. I think I'm just gonna blow up the tokens here. Yeah. Look at that, we drew a card. We did it. I think that means we win. Wow, we're just Felia right now. This is pretty cool. Look at that. We're just Felia. Drawing cards. I am drawing cards. Okay. Well, there goes the Solitude. Massacre Worm is odd. Let's play Commander. Or do I play Heliod? No, I play my Commander. And then I just pass. Oh, I could have bounced the Massacre Worm for 6 damage. Alright. I'm kind of dumb. That would have actually... Yeah, I could have got rid of... It didn't kill anything, was the point. I thought when it came back something would die, but that was not the case. They know I can just recast that, so that's interesting. Tiny Bone. Is that the one with Death Touch? No, it's not. I'm not going to Enlighten Tutor. Not going to Enlighten Tutor. Recast this. Opponent discards a card. Yeah, we just swing and get the worm out of the way and lose Zora. Should have done this last turn. It was a mistake. Alright, they know of Flare now. Soren the Girthless. That makes a 2-3. My upkeep... No, I'm still not doing that. Tyvar. Sure. Tap another untapped creature. It gets indestructible. Alright. I can fly with Felia. Swing... Let's see, I can O-ring the Massacre Worm. Tyvar's indestructible, so attacking on the ground's ugly. Fly, 3. Okay. Do this. Swing. Here. I'll let them block. No, that's dumb. That's dumb, just do this. I still have Flare. My opponent has to do more than what they've done so far. Cosmos Spaghetti. Almost could cast it, actually. That's funny. Oh, they couldn't draw the card. The Dark Confidant trigger would kill them. Alright, so it's not a land. And I don't think that card does it. Oh, it gets a clue token. They know what the card is. Does it beat Flare? Bontu's Last Reckoning? Oh, no, that doesn't beat Flare. Okay. They knew what that card was because of the Soren. Oh, it's a new commander. The Blight is actually kind of a problem, too. But I would still, again, argue the biggest problem is it's just a green deck. So it doesn't really matter what the next best thing it is trying to do is. Okay, let's get Surveil Land. Yeah, we take another land here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool card. I like it. It's just, you know, slow. Speaking of slow, it's mono green. Look at that. By the Minotaur. Potentially die by it. I do need something, and I need it fast. Because whatever that thing is, I currently don't have it. I can play my commander and also something else. But I don't have anything to gain life with. I think I'm just going to name Giant here. Wait, it's Giant or what? Warrior? Let's name Warrior. There might be another Warrior in my deck. Actually, I don't think there is, but... Let's shock ourselves. Our life total doesn't matter. Alright, now I need an actual thing to gain life. I mean, my commander does gain life itself. You know, I haven't had that be the only way to do it before, but technically possible. Oh, they're going to kill me with that. Tap 3 elves, proliferate poison. Okay. Well, that's tragic. I got no answer to that. Play this. Play Ornithopter. Swing for 4. I guess. I gain hexproof. No, just permanence. There's not a lot of ways to give your opponent the first poison counter, but... Well, I guess you don't need it when you just... You don't need a bunch. I guess I blight the... Ornithopter? I don't know. Does a Johnny change anything? White. A Johnny lifelink. It kind of doesn't. But I'm still going to cast it. It's a warrior. It's a warrior. Oh, that's funny. It's a warrior. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. Okay, well, there you go. Yep, pass. Got nothing else to do. It's a warrior. Unbelievable. Yes! Yes! I can kill a token if I want it, but this doesn't flip in time. I'm just gonna kill the Sage because it's soloing me with that poison counter. It's like a 90-10 win rate right there. Don't. Why not? I'm gonna play... Yeah, we can play this on the... Just play it as a mountain. It's just always gonna be a mountain here. Yeah, you can't play your commander with that land. Hopefully that means they can't interact with my Power Stone. I think Power Stone is right there. I still have Solitude. Smothering Tithe? What? Okay. Yeah, you can have treasures. I feel like I don't care about that. Do I care about that? I don't think I do. They know about Solitude. I think Solitude is pretty obvious. It's exceedingly obvious, honestly. I held priority turn 0. So. But they have to play cards. It's not like Solitude goes away. I really don't think I care about my opponent having Smothering Tithe mana. It's not the kind of deck that is extremely exploitative with Solitude. I mean, Smothering Tithe mana. It lets him cast Zurgo over and over. Yes, I mean, it's just not... Smothering Tithe is not that problematic in my opponent's deck. I don't think I want to play this in this deck. It's one of those cards, it's like Rhystic Study, although it's a little bit better than Rhystic Study. 2 is a lot more than 1 for your opponent to pay each time. But it's one of those like really good in multiplayer, significantly not, significantly less in 1v1. What is that, art? Okay. Alright. I do have a talisman. We know how that goes. Yeah. I guess I cast my commander first? Depends what my opponent does. Another creature enters. Okay, that makes my turn pretty straightforward because I didn't do anything. I mean, I'm hoping they just cycle a Sid. I think that's what they were just sitting on and decided to end step it. Just so your opponent, like, has to respect counter magic and stuff. But that's fine. I can. I did the same thing my commander would do, which is just draw a card, right? Except I ramped in the process. I can do it again as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna cast my commander. Hey, I actually got something. Well, I mean, kind of. It's not the most exciting thing, but it's there. So we're both drawing cards. I don't know how many Sids they have in their deck. I wonder if you keep your original Sid in the graveyard? You probably do. It's not a big reason to not do that, I guess. Okay, they have a lot of stats out of nowhere. Tragic. When this enters, create 2 1/1 flyers. Can't be blocked. Okay. So red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play you on warrior. I don't think I have to... I think I really want to play the key. I don't really want to play this. Alright, fine. Fine. I gain 1 less life this way, but... I mean, the trigger is still 6. The 7 breakpoint's irrelevant. Sneak attack. Alright, sneak attack's in play. Now I just need giant dumbness. But yeah, we'll just cast voice. Put some stats on that thing. And pass. Maybe Lightning Bolt does something. I can sack this to cast creatures from my graveyard for a turn. Haven't had that happen, though. They have to respect sneak attack now. But, I mean, they have to do that anyways. Brood Moth? Ooh, alright. So if the rogue dies, I get more 5/5s. That's kind of cool. I like my opponent's deck so far. Swords. Let's lead with this. Probably getting rid of this Ornithopter. What am I looking for? Yeah, why not? Get rid of the Ornithopter. Right? No, let's get rid of Lightning Bolt. It isn't really doing anything, and I would actually like to cast this card. So, I want more life gain triggers. And I will swing. I can't really block it. It's got Vigilance. Alright, what do you got for me? Guide of Souls. Sure. Sweet. The value engine. The engine was online. Look at it go. Beautiful. No, you have to continuously mulligan to find the combo card. That's what it is. Yeah. It's like Crucius and I guess the first sliver, except you have to have the card in your hand of the 99, which probably makes it vastly inconsistent. But you can just move on to the next game when you don't have it. Nice and easy. I'll take a land. What is this? Zurgo again, but it's the other Zurgo. It's the Ishin that isn't Ishin. Yep, let's play that. Let's play this one. Play around, I don't know, Swords of Plowshares or something? I can play my commander like 6 times. Pentad Prism. So, colorless, white, this thing, white, red, prism. And I don't think I'm casting the Ornithopter. Especially my opponent doing nothing for 2 turns. I don't want to give him removal spell mana. Oscillate Pride. That doesn't make warriors, does it? Nope. If I did play this... Oh wait, no, hold on. Pentad Prism. We've been here. Pentad Prism makes more than 1 mana. You can bank up to 2 mana with it. Beautiful. But now it is effectively dead and useless. And unfortunately not in the graveyard. K command. Decline. I can cast it. The dream. I can't gain life with it though. Okay. One... Wait, let's slow down. This is 3. 1, 2. Okay, I can't cast that for what I'd want to cast it for. So we're just being boring this turn. I'm not trading. They can't swing as long as the token exists. At least I don't think they can. Opponent agrees. Sneak attack. Oh, I can just win. That works too. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I wish I didn't skip over casting Kozilek's command though, but who cares? Probably wasn't expecting that to happen, to be fair. But I guess I didn't need to do that. You're right, I do have Kozilek's command. Northern Air Temple? Oh, I got confused with what that did for a second. Whenever an opponent gain life +1 instead. So it doesn't gain more life, it just gives me a... Or rather, it's not a separate trigger, I mean. Name warrior. Okay. Well, Hi-Bye does not normally ever play sweepers. Not that I would play around it anyways. Chain to the rocks. Well, to the hand it goes. Yep, it doesn't normally play sweepers. Oh, wizards do things twice. Okay. That hand is goofy looking. This hand is even more goofy. This hand is slightly more reasonable. Let's take away the book. Could just play a more honest game, get rid of this buried treasure. No, just get rid of a land at that point. Yeah, might as well, if I'm going to do that. I'd say this is ever so slightly better than the third land. Yeah, let's just do this. Worked last time, right? It's a mono blue deck. Might as well get into play fast. Do we think they trade with that? I almost think they always trade with that, but I'm not sure. I'm not okay with them trading with it, so I'm not going to block it. What are the wizards that you play on turn 3? Okay. Opponent gets a Soul Warden. I mean, that's not a... It's not a wizard, at least, I guess. That lets me keep my buried spaghetti. So into play it goes. Let's swing with just... Yeah, just voice, obviously. A braid to the hand. Well, they know about a braid now, but, I mean, I still take it. Is Venser a wizard? I think it is, right? There's a few bounce wizards I really do not want to see, but they have to have them. A braid might not be too big of an issue. Okay. Looks like there's no that thing going on here. Green, green, green. I really do not want to use the buried treasure. I'm not gaining enough life to make a 3/3 anyways. So let's just do this. A braid on the commander. I don't really care about their Hollowed Priest. Like, whatsoever. Okay, I think I straight up have to gain life. So I'm just going to do this. I don't think I have a choice. I tried to dodge that. I just have to do this. Yeah, I just have to. Static Prison. Sure, that can take out... What does this do? Can't be blocked. I'm so, like, not threatened by this Hollowed Priest. I'm just going to take it. I'm also not threatened by this enchantment, so... I'll just take the stats, so I can't be counterattacked with damage. It's a mono blue deck. That was probably the single, like, largest thing in their deck damage-wise. Might as well just remove that as a concept. Okay, they like the card, so it probably interacts with voice. Otherwise, it isn't too ideal to do that. Let's pay, and I just play the land and I go straight to combat? No, we can play this first. But I'm going to assume whatever they found involves dealing with... Oh. Nope. I'm almost surprised to see them even do this, but they have to counter something. But you didn't wait to maybe counter whatever I randomly find off of my commander. You never know what it could be. Okay, command, okay. I can cast it. I can cast it. For 4. Okay, let's, Oh, there's nothing I can do. No. And... nothing I can do about that. Uh-oh, I need help. River's Rebuke is not too big of a deal. I mean, yeah, I could also just take the Soul Warden, and then this doesn't grow. I could have also done that. I kind of forgot about that. Let's play Commander. No, we can just chill and rebuild with the Danger Noodle. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't care about this Hollow Priest. I got the Static Prison back. We're not in dire straits here. I really don't even care about the Soul Warden. So I'm not even going to Static Prison it. Mirror Image. What does that copy? It does copy the Hollowed Priest? We're going the stat lines. Alright, look at that. That's super funny. I mean, over at 36. I'm not concerned with these winning the game. But now I am way more interested in dealing with Soul Warden. Way more interested in dealing with Soul Warden, so... suppose I'll do that. Now they just can't gain life. Looks like there's another counter spell. What does that change? Does that change anything? Not really. Just pass. I can swing here. You just, like, have to deal with this Kozilek's command. Yeah, let him surveil. Two lands. I'll cast it in combat. It'll be for 5. I'm not gonna I could do it for 4 to respect specifically 1-minute counter spells. Soft counters. But, like, I'm not gonna play around Mana Leak. Except it has Changeling? Okay. Creature... and make 4, because again I want to play around Force Spike. 4 and that. I feel like there's a Force Spike. Oh, it actually might be Force Spike. It's Spell Pierce? Oh, come on, don't tell me it's Spell Pierce. Come on. There's no way I'm playing around Spell Pierce, though. Come on. Man. Got to be kidding me. That's just so ridiculous. Ugh. Wait, why did they... Wait, what? They didn't copy the rabbit? Okay, well, opponent, you don't have a way to gain life. That doesn't really do anything. Oh, that's so annoying. This is the first time I cast Kozilek's command and it's just... Alright, well, that's life, I guess. So, this thing... do I just blind discover? There are a fair amount of moderately okay discover things that could happen. So, let's just discover. Okay, well, that's not quite that exciting, but it can get the One Ring. Can also get Flage. Flage is castable and actually very annoying for this deck. I'm gonna get Flage. This is castable and annoying. Both things that we like. And I also have Ephemerate, so... Whenever this deals damage, you may exile it, return Okay, well. Opponent had a very, very good top deck. No surprise there. Choose a creature type whenever that type hits me. Please name Cleric. Okay, they didn't. Dang it. Oh, this is all creature types, to be fair. I also got to kill the Seagate Oracle. I guess I with the second trigger, kill their commander? No. We should kill the other wizard, which is this one. Just want to kill wizards. I really just don't feel too threatened by my opponent's commander sitting in play. You have to have a wizard, otherwise it just isn't doing anything. And why not just do this? Oh, I could have... Did I miss lethal? Oh, I think I missed lethal. I could have went face. Alright, my bad. This is more fun, though. I did miss lethal. They're still dead on board, though. I have 2 cards in their hand. Still dead on board. It doesn't save them. Actually, what does that do here? It doesn't do anything. They don't have an ETB for it. I'm gonna draw this. So this has to be a counter spell. Actually, it has to be more than that, doesn't it? Oh! Oh! Enters or attacks. Alright, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Do not listen to me. Opponent has way more stuff going on than I thought. Okay. I don't think it matters what I ephemerate. They were looking for an answer, and I guess they just didn't find one. I don't think I play Johnny turn 2. No, I don't think so. Maybe? No, I'm gonna just play this. That's a bit strange, I guess. Alright, Commander, what do you got for me? Ideally a castable creature. Okay, I kinda got what I wanted. It's also actually a cat. But I do not have ways to gain life anymore. Unless I tap my commander. Almost want to do that. Yeah, you can't swing. That's good. I think I'm just gonna go a Johnny. I killed the wrong creature. Oh my god! Oh my god! I think I'm up past my bedtime. I think I'm up past my bedtime. It hits midnight and suddenly everyone's playing the same 3 decks. But before that, the first half of this was actually really enjoyable. This commander is very cool. I just like how it draws a card every turn. In those games where someone doesn't have a strategy that just effectively completely ignores you, because if they do ignore you to do anything, they're going to do that thing before you stop them. You could play a ton of interaction, I guess, like a ton of interaction to maybe get in the way of that, but then your deck is just way slower at trying to do what you want to do in the first place, and I just don't like doing that, especially when I'm trying to showcase an actual text box on a card that is new, so I just don't want to do that. But before the second half, the second half of playing games today was literally just the same thing over and over and over and over, and I lost and I lost and lost and lost, because this doesn't do anything at all against green decks, period, and that's 70% of the meta. I really, at this point, just hope something significant gets done about the format, because green is so much better than every other color that it just makes it hard to play something that isn't green, right? Especially when it happens to you 5 times in a row. It just makes you not want to play anymore, or just play green deck yourself. It's so egregious that I can't play I can't even really play this on turn 3 with a mana rock and still keep up with green decks. It's just so much faster than you. You just either have to respect them or hope they don't have Llanowar Elves that you can't kill or something. It's really just getting kind of makes me want to play a different format. But aside from that, I really like what this commander does. It's very easy to trigger life gain every turn. It's extremely easy to do that. At the very least, you have it attached to your commander, and it's on a flying creature, so it's hard to lose that life gaining situation that you could provide yourself. And you don't have to gain 10 life, right? If you just draw a card every turn, that's fine. That's actually just fine. Ideally, you're drawing into something that wins the game, right? We do have sneak attack. I did take out Ulamog, I guess. Yeah, that was the one I took out. I kept this in here because I had Enlightened Tutor and Idyllic Tutor, and this is an enchantment, but that didn't come up too much. Usually probably going to wind up finding like sneak attack with that anyways. There was one game I did throw with One Ring Paradox Engine. Like, I had the rocks, I'm tapping the ring, I'm untapping everything, and I accidentally cast too many expensive cards and couldn't keep going. So I did actually throw when I had it in play once, which is really sad because don't think I've ever really threw the game when I had the One Ring Engine at the same time. But that was a game I did, with confidence, throw that game. But usually you win when you have both, and does not take much at all to win at the when you get both in play. Just like a single mana rock will probably find you the next one, and then you can just go from there. But the life gain situation's cool. There's not a lot of, like, I'm going to deal lethal damage to you kind of strategies. And those kinds of strategies don't necessarily care if you're at 50. They'll just do that much damage to you. And you're not gonna necessarily stabilize if you had 50 life. It's the same logic as when someone concedes. If you have infinite life, right? Your opponent has 200 life or something, and you have complete board control, and they'll never get back into play. You have a full grip. They're like top decking bad things. There's basically no chance they come back. 200 life isn't going to save them. You're just going to eventually do 200 damage, right? Even if it takes 20 turns, it's extremely unlikely they get out of it. Infinite life, I guess you'd have to go to decking. But that's not the case here, obviously. So, with that being said, aggro decks are still just not the best thing to see. Just because you're at 75 life doesn't mean you stave off the aggro player's ability to kill you. All they have to do is win the board, and they're just going to get there eventually, unless you somehow stabilize, or get a board presence that they can't swing into anymore, which is kind of difficult, actually. Aggro decks have to have fairly like really good openers, I would argue, in this format, and that's why Ragavan is just by far the most represented aggro thing to do, because it just does that every single game with the best one drop it could possibly have every single game. But every other aggro deck I see, if it stumbles just for one turn, that is a colossal amount of stumbling for an aggro deck, where something like Ragavan just doesn't really stumble. That's why it's in bracket 5. So I would not really want to see Ragavan. There are cards that just, like I said, the cards that ignore what you're doing are backbreaking, and if you play a ton of interaction, it's going to slow you down heavy. Maybe you can. I guess you can. It's not like the worst thing to maybe try to do, but it just doesn't feel great. Especially when stuff like Damnation can just exist forever, and even if you play a really slow game, will eventually just hose your board, and you don't have anything at all to show for it except 75 life and maybe 3 enchantments in play that might not be doing anything. So it's not necessarily just the mono green things. Sweepers are just nightmarishly bad to play against, and the one in particular is like Damnation. I didn't see a lot of white sweepers. White decks in general don't necessarily have to play sweepers because they have like a ton of removal. I guess that's true for black as well, but it just seems like the white strategies aren't trying to play something that would like a sweeper, other than, blue-white control stuff. But the black decks, especially mono black decks, Damnation is just so annoying. The other sweepers aren't nearly as bad. It's just the fact that the one shows up at the time at which it does feels awful. But, that doesn't mean Farewell isn't, also doing the same exact thing against you. But that's just the price you pay when you play anything like this. Sort of just like tokens, I guess. Token strategies. You just lose when they cast a sweeper. You just totally out of the game. Just everything you've done is blown completely out of the game, and unless you have Teferi's Protection, Heroic Intervention, I guess Flare of... I did misuse Flare of Fortitude once. There was a Damnation. I should have held this card for it, but there was a bunch of spot removal before the Flare showed up. Or rather, before the Sweeper showed up, so I flared earlier to save my stuff from a different thing, but I should have just held this for the Damnation. I might have actually won that exact game had I done that, but I didn't. So I lost. So yeah, that's the egregious thing. But the most egregious thing is the Menadork strategies. You're just going to lose. Your opponent's on the play with Llanowar Elves. All right, you better mulligan for an answer, or just have one really fast. You still completely lose your turn to deal with it, and then your opponent moves on to a different ramp spell anyways. But you have to. It's too fast. It's way too fast. Having 75 life against Rofellos doesn't do anything. They're just going to cast an Eldrazi, and you're going to lose anyways. But I really like this commander. It is a cool commander. What it does is neat. I don't normally like life gain strategies at all. I think they're, especially in Historic Brawl, you're just doing something that doesn't really matter, right? 255 life does not matter in 99% of the games you're playing, right? What matters is just sticking the board and having the game end at some point before your opponent tramples over you with anything. If I'm at 5,000 life, I can still lose to Rofellos. I can lose to even Shrines, actually. High-Buy Shrines just does it too, because the Shrines will get there. I mean, they could technically... actually, they could deck out if you had 5,000 life with the blue enchantments, the blue Shrines, to be fair. But they could actually still do 5,000 damage with the green one that makes a bunch of 1/1s. They go up to 250 tokens, because that's the limit. And they'll have to swing a few times with 250 tokens. And that could kill you, right? That actually could kill you. There's also the black ones that make you lose life. So they could genuinely do 5,000 damage if that's all you've done, right? And assuming you've gained 5,000 life, that's probably all you committed to doing. And you somehow didn't discover into a game-winning thing after having gained 5,000 life. But I guess that is possible. They could also tap your Emrakul over and over with the white shrine that taps things, so you could like never actually swing with this. But with the 1/1s, they could just annihilate or six of the 1/1 tokens, so that wouldn't actually matter anyways. I guess you could fight back with lamb tokens. I don't know. I'm deep diving in scenarios where infinite life would actually matter. It just doesn't feel like that would ever be the case. But I do like Approach the Second Sun, as this could fairly reasonably discover it the first time and cast it for free the first time, and then you know where it is, and it starts to draw fairly quickly to approach the second time, which is pretty cool. Or, you discover it and you just put it to your hand. You can't discover and cast it from exile. You have to cast Approach from hand the second time. Otherwise, you don't win the game. So it is a cool approach deck. I was playing the One Ring, but I just ended up taking it out. It's just not fast enough. It doesn't change any of the situations I'm talking about. Let's say you had 5,000 life. I guess you could have enough life to reasonably draw it and win with it by the time your opponent would kill you with damage. But, I guess now you have to worry about counter decks, counter spells. Would just kind of get you too. I did have Cavern, right? I did have Cavern. I don't know if I saw Cavern maybe once or twice. I don't know if I saw it in games and it mattered. But I wouldn't say counterspell spammy decks are too bad. But that is saying I did basically auto-concede to Katara, because Katara just shows up and I can't kill it, and then they untap with it and I effectively lose. So yeah, I guess counterspells decks are nightmarishly bad. Yeah, I just didn't happen to see a bunch of them. But every time I did get hit by a counter, I would say it felt as devastating as it would with any other deck. Nothing new there. I never got Book of Exalted Deeds Mutavault combo. Book is cool to make a 3/3 every turn, I guess. I mean, that's kind of neat. It's alright, but the Mutavault's the main idea for me. Just put the Divinity counter there and you can't lose. But it just never happened. It's singleton 100 card format, and unlike our opponents, I don't always have it. So it is what it is. I am a fan of Kozilek's Command, though. This was actually a deck where I cast it and it did something. I don't think it won any game I cast it, though. No. I don't think it did. It got Spell Pierced once. I played around Force Spike and not Spell Pierce, and of course their Force Spike turned into Spell Pierce, and they hit it. And then the other deck, my opponent cast, I made tokens and they cast Defense of the Heart, and I just lost. So, it didn't do anything or like win the game because I cast it, but it is a very good card still. I really like it. Yeah, this is one of those commanders I think I'd probably try again and just change around maybe how many things I have to do with my commander. But I don't want to hyperfixate on the Discover X being high. Like, oh, I want it to be 5 on minimum at minimum every time. That seems like you're still just setting yourself up to hit other things that don't care that you've discovered them. Like, if you put Revitalize in your deck and you just cast Revitalize for Discover, all you did was draw a card. Like, as if you would have anyways had you not discovered it for free and put it to your hand. You just Revitalize. All you did was make the card you put to your hand a card your opponent doesn't see if you play stuff like Revitalize. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like that idea, at least. But yeah, maybe something about the flying thing could be cool. I mean, I did have a Johnny's Pride mate, giving that flying after it's getting out of control is kind of cool. So, I mean, yeah, it's doing what you want to be doing in a life gain deck, with the added benefit of drawing cards and playing some red things like Sneak Attack. So it's a cool deck. I like it. It's just the format doesn't care about this strategy at all. It just doesn't care. And that's unfortunate. But that's just the nature of things, right? The format is as old as it is, and the card pool is as big as it is, and something is always going to be better than most things. The top 20 percentile of cards. It's whatever that, I don't know the math term for it. Power law? I think it's power law, where like the like, oh, there's really good cards and there's strategies that are winning all the time, and then 80% of the decks are running the same 20% of cards that the card pool has access to. So 80% of the decks, let's say all of the green ones, so 60% of the entire decks in the game, I guess, the format, are running the same 20% of the cards all the time. And that's actually kind of applicable here as well. You know, like, there's not a ton of cards that really stand out here that you wouldn't see in other decks, you know? Like, there's no card in here you look at like, oh, wow, I had to read that, you know? So it's kind of the same here, even though I like what this is doing. It's just, that's just the nature of it. There's so many cards you could choose from, but you have to stick to, like, the same 20% of the available cards, because those are the only ones that can survive in this extremely fast format, even for a singleton card format. But you know, that's just where we're at. I'm just at the point I really hope we get major changes, and I think one that would just make this format more interesting is just removing the mana dorks. Just remove all of them. Just all of them. At this point, just get rid of all of them. Every other game you're just having be decided by Land War Elves. I don't really enjoy that. Even if your opponent loses because you killed it, you know. I would like to see the format change away from that. It's kind of like how Legacy for me has been a bit unappealing because so many games are decided by Tamiyo and Tamiyo Brainstorm, or simply just playing Tamiyo and making too many clues, and the game goes on too long where the clues start to matter. And then obviously Tamiyo flipping and winning. It just made Legacy a bit rough for me to enjoy. So it's kind of the same here. But in this case, there's like 14 of the effective Tamiyos, because they're all literally the same. Arboreal Grazer, Umbriel Right, not Umbriel Rights, jeez. Utopia Sprawl. Exploration, I think, is the best one at this point, because the exploration decks play, like, you know, 45 lands, and they're never really going to miss, and it's the same thing, but it's the one that you really just can't kill at all. It's just going to get the land, and then it has the added benefit of giving you more lands later. So I hope that changes. I really do hope that changes, because decks like this are really cool. I just like when games last more than 4 turns. I don't even care if it means aggro comes back, you know, and then it's just a different dynamic, you know. Land War Elves shouldn't be the best aggro deck. It just is. Casting Land War Elves is faster at what it's trying to do than whatever a aggro deck is doing, apart from, you know, like specifically having something like Ragavan on turn 1. And you'll notice that with other aggro decks needing to have hyper-efficient, feels like perfect cards turn 1, 2, and 3 in their aggro deck if they're not a Ragavan deck. So I hope that changes, but I don't think it will. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Still, anyways, let me know what you thought about this commander. Still can recommend it. You know, I like the games that aren't decided by turn 1 are really cool. You have a lot of decisions, a lot of cards are seen, and it just plays cool Magic. It is a really cool card. But that's that. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.